So the story of this record actually goes back probably more than 10 years to when we were living in Portugal. We were actually touring in Portugal, and it wasn't as glamorous as it sounds. We were playing terrible gigs to terrible clubs and living in our house with all of our bandmates. Everyone was very stressed and depressed. My vocalist actually went into a full depression. He would go into his room for hours at a time and not come out. And we were always like, what are you doing in there? And when he eventually emerged, he had this vocal that he had sung directly into his laptop speaker. The moment I heard it, I just loved it. But he had put a plug-in, it actually recorded it into this plug-in that had almost like vocoded it and made it, the keys were really weird. And with my level back then of musical knowledge, I could never get it into key. We left Portugal and life went on, and almost 10 years went by, and I thought the vocal was lost. We all thought it was lost. And I got a spontaneous email one day from my other band partner, and he said, look, I've found this old vocal on this drive. It's the vocal I've been thinking about all those years, and I was able to sort of slip it into key, do a whole bunch of processing onto it, and get it sounding really nice. And the minute that I played the piano behind it, I knew that it was going to be the first record on the label, because it's everything I like about music. It's emotive, it's thoughtful, but it's not cheesy at all. And something about it, I just knew it was going to work on a dance floor and as a listening song. So yeah, that was the decision to make Wicked Eyes the first release. And let me play you the vocal. So I'm going to play you guys the vocal, and you'll hear how the vocoder layers are sort of built into it. Wicked eyes, do me love, I don't know what to feed your eyes. And what's really interesting is that there's sort of like an implied melody already. And so a lot of my work was just trying to find these natural ups and downs in the vocal melody and sort of craft a piano melody around them. Eventually, I sort of decided on this descending progression because it's emotive, but it's quite poppy at the same time, and it's quite versatile progression. So after we had sort of recorded it, if you want to hear them together. Wicked eyes, do me love, I don't know what to feed your eyes. Wicked eyes, do me love, all I do by my life. So we've got this piano, and as beautiful as it is, the next step is to sort of disfigure it a bit, distort it a bit. So we wanted to put it through some samplers, some granular effects, and just give it a little bit of edge. This is what it sounds like when it's done. Wicked eyes, do me love, I don't know what to feed your eyes. Wicked eyes, do me love, all I do by my life. When it came to the drum track, we knew we were going to do two mixes of this track. One that's almost like a pop song, and the other one that's, you know, late night for the dance floor. You can play at 2 a.m. So for the original mix, I really wanted to keep the groove something different. I knew immediately we had to do it live. So I played a whole bunch of live drums on a drum machine, and we actually brought my friend in just to play a very particular hi-hat groove. It's something that has almost like urban pop influences in, but it's also got aspects of 4/4 timing in. So it's like a hybrid, something that can work on the dance floor, something that could work as a listening track. The last challenge in terms of the production was just finding a lead that we really liked. The thing is, for me, it's a really sad song. I don't know if people get that when they listen to it, but I get a lot of melancholy. And I already had this idea in my head about the video and this character that we're going to create and how he was going to be missing this eye. I don't want to drop too much of a hint because it is a surprise, but this character's missing an eye, and he's a lot of agony about this eye, this feeling that he's incomplete somehow. And so we needed a sound that could reflect what I interpret as the sadness of the song and the character and my emotional connection to the music, but also is like poppy and accessible. And that took a really long time, but eventually I found this cosmic violin from space, and it's one of my favorite sounds in the song. And I feel like not only does it complete the audio, but it plants this beautiful Easter egg, which you'll see in the video, that I'm really excited to show you. So a huge part of what we do is obviously making people dance. And as great as it is to write these records that people connect with and want to listen to, there's also got to be this aspect of, can I play this record out, like as a DJ? And I do play the original mix, but I knew straight away we were going to do a remix, and the best way to do it was to call up my friend Kostakis, because he's got all the analog gear that I don't have, and when you get all of our stuff together, it's just incredible. So went down to his studio and took all the gear down. We had the Moog Sub 37, we had analog drum machines, a whole host of new toys. And the challenge was, like, can we take this record that's really emotional and put it into a context that also makes you want to dance your ass off? And I'm so happy with the results. Let me play you what we came up with. Yeah, guys, it's been an emotional journey. Thanks for spending a couple minutes with me and getting to know the track Wicked Eyes. I'm really excited about it. It's the first release on my own label, which is Swoon Recordings, and it's out on the 14th of June on Spotify, Apple Music, and 2 weeks later on the 28th, if you want to buy it, download it for Beatport, that sort of thing. Also, we have a vinyl, so if you're a vinyl collector and a music lover, please stay in touch because we're going to be doing some giveaways. Please go buy my record.